Now, you have to realize nobody's goal in life is to become an alcoholic or to suffer from alcohol use disorder later in life. That's never anyone's goal, and it sneaks up on people, and it can happen in a plethora of ways. Now, in the early years with my wife, when we were first married, and even before that, I mean, she always drank a glass of wine. I mean, one glass, maybe two. And that was because some of it was family culture. She had grown up in that kind of an environment. Her parents drank wine. Her whole family drank wine with dinner. And when we got together, they all drank wine. And for me, that was a little bit odd because my family didn't. I didn't grow up in a world where alcohol was really normalized. My dad might have a scotch or a bourbon once a month, when he got paid. He was a high school principal. Alcohol wasn't really part of it. My dad was a football, baseball, and basketball coach, so I mean, it had kind of an athletic background. Alcohol just wasn't part of my life. And when I started going out with my wife, this was just like a whole new world, and for me it was just a different culture. I thought it was interesting. I did have my concerns from the beginning, but I thought it was just part of the deal. And again, if this is the first time seeing me, well, I was married for 25 years, and unfortunately my wife passed away from alcohol use disorder almost 5 years ago, in a couple of weeks actually. Now, I talk about stories because it's important to understand that the origins of why people drink can be as varied as the person. In my wife's case, and I get a lot of questions about this, it was family culture. Now, environment is a big reason why people drink. If it's normalized, if your parents drink, your grandparents drank, your parents, siblings, and your friends, and you're kind of engulfed in that kind of an atmosphere, that's usually the biggest culprit of why people drink. Now, you mix that in with things like depression, anxiety. Anxiety is always part of alcohol use disorder, and stress. Everyone has stress, but some people deal with it differently. In my wife's case, those glasses of wine became a bottle of wine, a 0.75 liter bottle of wine. And within the first 5 years of being married, she was drinking a bottle of wine a night, 7 nights a week. 10 years into the marriage, it was 1.75, the big bottles. And there's a big difference. That's a big leap. And this is a natural progression of how you get there. Because we were in our 30s at the time, and then, later into our 40s, I think, just by youth, it slowly crept up on her, and she started gaining weight because of the extra calories. There's a lot of calories in a 1.7 bottle of wine. Her problem was always the alcohol, and later it became a weight problem because of all the added calories and the fact that she had no thyroid, and she really had to take levothyroxine her own life just to be able to have any kind of metabolism, which just added to her overall struggles. And I tell these stories certainly in the beginning because this is the period in one's alcoholic career, for lack of a better word, is when it's easier to nip it in the bud. When you can recognize this consistency, this level 2 of alcoholism, when you've created a series of where you're drinking 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week. And no one should be doing that. You should not be ingesting a class 1 carcinogen, which is what alcohol is, 7 days a week. It will wear down your organs. It will wear down your liver, your kidneys, your heart. The stress on your body is unbelievable. It will also, prematurely age you, because that's what alcohol does. I mean, it dehydrates your skin. It dehydrates your organs. And it will also eventually affect your brain. That's not something anybody seeks to, that's no one's goal. But it does creep up on you, and alcohol does become the solution to that person's problem. Either it's a reward system at the end of the day, you're immersed in family culture, you're covering up repressed emotions, maybe you have dual issues, you're bipolar, schizophrenia, you have just extreme depression. I mean, it could be borderline personality disorder, maybe you're an introvert. It's covering something up. Trauma, all of these types of things. Recognizing that you have that problem and that you have created this consistency, you've created this habit. It's time to create new habits. It's time to replace this alcohol consistency with a reinvention of yourself. And that reinvention might include a new environment. If your family's the problem, or if the people that you're around is a problem, move, relocate, find a new house. Then you need to do, instead of drinking at night, you need to work out. Maybe, whatever you're into, yoga, lifting weights, running, jogging, hiking, fencing, kayaking, skiing, whatever you're into, some kind of physicality that resonates with you. You need to do something creative. You need to, paint, write, journal, woodworking, something creative that resonates with you. Learn how to play a musical instrument, learn a new language, read books, something to focus your mind on, something that you generally like. You got to re-energize your life and find purpose in your life. You also have to re-energize your relationships. This is very important. You need to rebuild relationships in your life and reconnect, maybe with new people, and you need to be around new people who don't drink. Okay, these are all things that you really need to implement long before it becomes an alcohol use disorder, before you become chemically, physically, emotionally, and psychologically addicted to this thing called alcohol. And essentially, at that point, you're a drug addict, whether or not you realize that or not. That's the road you're headed down. And I hope these ideas resonate with you if you find yourself with this kind of consistency. Again, the memoir is called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. You can find it on Amazon. It's also in the link tree in my bio. PayPal button's right there. Again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. We have the Facebook group. Again, you can find it in the link tree. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, I have a complete coaching program that's designed for the family and the alcoholic. Set up a breakthrough call, see how we can help you and get the coaching program into your life and change your life forever and your life of your family. And again, thanks so much for listening.